Okay, we're live. Hello. Welcome back to Beast in the Timetwist, session 31.
Yes.
I am Talgoran. Who is a good day this day?
What?
I'm not one, but I have one? Or I am having one? I don't know.
Dream's good.
No, I'm just having a confusing day.
Good. Who wants to recap?
I'll take a look at Snarp's notes. Finishing the fight with Holly, Hamish, and Herbert. Wow, I just realized they're Triple H. The party beat them down until they were unconscious. They decided to bound and gag them and ask them one by one for secrets, starting with Herbert. Krim gets his power after Herbert just kind of spills his guts. His secret being that he has a total crush on Holly. Then we went to switch to Holly, who decided that she was going to try to pull a fast one and disappear out of there, bringing the others with them. And the party gave chase. Turner was preparing like a little warning shot, but Alex jumped the gun and just blasted them and destroyed them.
He killed them.
At least Holly and Hamish. Herbert just kind of is now going to be living with trauma, but it's okay. He'll get better.
He's joining the party.
Wade had like a little talk with their corpses, and if I recall correctly, he kept his word from a previous threat. Is that correct, Beagle?
Well, more or less.
Because did he say that he would do that after? I don't know. Anyway, they decided to bring Herbert along with them to. Well, maybe the smart people there could learn something. We don't know, but didn't really seem like a good idea just to throw them out into the wolves. They made it to the academy, reconvened with they spoke with the headmaster there and some people who are part of the organization for investigating the time anomalies. And then they went to go meet with Turner's two friends because Kole is getting an offer to be a star. And had some little quick negotiations there with Starfinder, I think her name was. And then met with his
Starcatcher.
All right, Starfinder's a tabletop system,
Yeah.
based on Pathfinder. Anyway,
They're both warrior cat names.
Yeah.
Same deal.
Also met with his bat friend Vela, and who was kind of part of these discussions too. And the session ended with Turner revealing to them that they have gained some of these powers, and they just looked very dreadful.
Picture this. West Tower Library of Ogma Observatory, not university.
Correct.
It's about 4 stories up. There's windows aplenty, letting in this light, which illuminates even more than the floating candles can. There's spaces for uplifted, small and large, to study, to chat. It's a library, but there's really not that many books. It's more of a hangout area. And previously, Vela, the fruit bat, had quickly cast this low power spell to reportedly make it so your words are garbled to all others nearby hearing them, although you can hear them just fine. And indeed the news has been dropped on Kole, Tachida, and Vela after Starcatcher and her attendants have left. That you guys have obtained some of these mysterious and now famous time anomaly powers.
Indeed.
That's crazy, she says. Roll for initiative.
All right.
Just kidding.
Well, I got a nat one anyway. I actually did.
I'll say I'll consider the allure of them, at least for us, is gone.
The allure is gone, she echoes. Why would it be that way instead of the opposite?
It's been nothing but trouble.
Has word of the events down south from here reached you? The devastation that they've been causing in many regions?
Yes, it has.
And the crimes that have been committed by those seeking these?
She looks at Cole. It's hard to tell what is truth and what is fiction. Overall, the news does seem negative, I agree. You've seen it firsthand, haven't you?
We've had a few encounters with these, yes.
Okay. Can you tell us the full story? I mean, we won't tell anyone. Maybe we could help? Kole says, in a very cool way. Yeah, spill the beans.
Well, is an NDA we can have you sign?
Kole looks very sad at that, as if he has recent experience with such things.
Oh God.
Well, I think the agreement we can make is they won't share this and I won't drop a fireball. You can probably tell there's a little bit of humor in there for as much as he's able to.
Yep.
Okay. And if no one objects, then we'll go through a little bit of the tales.
Swamp Silk exploit.
Oh no, the spell is affecting Wade now. He's been garbled.
Whoa.
Yes, and his voice gets a little garbled. People.
Oh shit, sorry.
Okay. Okay. So it takes maybe half an hour, 40 minutes to give the broad strokes of all that have happened, and they encourage you to give even more detail when you get to the specifics of what the powers do and the powers themselves. That's the hot topic. The candles don't burn low because they seem to be magically infinite. Once you get towards the end, Cole's like, yeah, it's pretty dang fascinating. But they don't work like magic, do they? It sort of defies the typical rules.
And restrictions. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, they still have a cost, as we've all come to see. For whatever reason, we seem to be affected differently by it, which is a matter. Perhaps he looking at Vela. Perhaps he might be able to help us come to some theories with. I was also thinking about what was the name of the organization here that is investigating these?
They said some task force made of some of the faculty was interested in them.
Okay. About speaking to the task force here, but do you think that they'd let us leave?
Timekeepers of bows.
But meanwhile, Cole's immediately like, no, don't tell them. We can help you, or some of our buddies can. We all are trained in critical thinking and writing essays and crap. We're
Aaron
equipped.
kinda gives him
You
a
tell
look.
them though. Hey, funny. But if you tell them, they might keep you here. They might spread your secrets elsewhere. I mean, who knows?
Yeah, I'll be honest, I don't trust it either, Kashmir says. I feel like we should probably keep it to people we can trust for now. And I mean, a task force, kind of nebulous, don't you think?
Well, I wouldn't want to risk you guys getting expelled if you get involved in this. I've probably done all I need to here. I might have a bit less to lose.
Vale flaps herself up into a little cleared out area of a bookshelf where she fits nicely until she sat there before. So what theories or questions are you working on exactly?
Well, the first and foremost, at least where we're concerned, is why these things seem to be affecting us a lot less potently, but seemingly with less of the drawbacks. We're not entirely sure. We're being very careful about using them.
I think that's the only reason we're seeing less drawbacks is because of less use. Honestly, just about the only difference with us is that they're way less potent when we use them than when anybody else does.
That doesn't make sense. I mean, magical effects, we have understood that these aren't the same, but magical effects are discrete. They're increasingly becoming documented and understood. If I produce the Burning Hands spell of the second tier by standard universal ranking, the same amount of thermal energy will be produced as if some uplifted fish schmuck from the Towering Metal Institute cast the same spell. But you are saying that it's not the same. It goes between people and it's the same effect, but it's a different nature of effect?
Or at least similar. Our first one, well, the first one that I obtained is actually quite different in how it worked. Before, I was literally able to reset time. And, Alex, I would have some disagreement with your theory that the only reason it affects us differently is because of use, because, well, we were affected differently by that power when we had none.
There are occasional exceptions like that, but for the most part, we seem... I guess it's hard to say because that's one of the only powers we've encountered that actually has external effects on other people other than just the user.
Well, you mentioned that Reginald fellow. You said when he used the power, it was like a balm to the pain of those people in stasis, or wherever you described it. So it isn't just you that have experienced alterations. There must be something else going on. It's not always a weaker version. There must be rules. Everything has a rule system.
Yeah, and yet when I tried to give mine away and then take it back, I was given the exact same power. But when Krim, you took that power from what's-his-face, the 9 vulnerability, you were only given half. Well, if I shot you, it would still hurt, just slightly less.
Krim nods nervously.
Okay.
He doesn't want to test that.
So let's go through possibilities. Could it be simply that the powers dilute as they are transferred?
Well, that
Krim
was
shakes
what,
his head.
Doubt that.
That was what Wade was testing, and it seems to be
Right.
just as effective.
Could they be altered depending on the wielder, or caster, however you qualify that term?
That seems to be a given,
And
but the recurring trend of, again, them for some reason consistently being less powerful when we use them suggests that there has to be something more than that.
well, we haven't exactly exchanged them between us yet.
Yeah, Wade's study was a little haphazard there. He just released it and then took it back, so we weren't quite able to test it.
Well, if anyone you ever want to disclose another secret, by all means.
It does seem safe when you describe it that way, Wade. What is the most interesting, like you say, is the one at the beginning that acted very different. In this Gerdumble place, it sounds like some people had no idea about the loops, some people partially resisted the effect, and you all were the most, or at least among the most, extraordinary in that regard, completely immune to the memory reset.
Special and chosen.
Some things
Whatever
that,
that means.
some things we'd probably like to forget from that experience, but yeah.
It's more than can be explained by chance or perception. Were you chosen? It's like you were kept in the loop to the same degree as the turtle who was using it. So what does that tell us?
Turner kind of glances over at Alex. It's kind of up to him if he wants to give that information, though.
Alex looks lost in thought. What if... This is a stupid-ass hypothesis that is definitely wrong.
Those are
Shoot
our
a camera.
favorites.
I don't know. What if all this is a repeat of something that's already happened and we already got to the end of this and we came back and we've all seen it all or something? I don't know.
So another time loop?
Well, then someone has a morbid sense of humor, or we really screwed up somewhere down the road.
Perhaps we're not the ones who stole the memories from going back in time.
So because you are the ones in the loop, that's why you are less powerful with the powers?
I don't know. I'm
Interesting.
throwing things at a wall and seeing what sticks.
Yeah.
Krim has some experience trying to study forgetfulness for obvious reasons. Is there a check that Krim can do when thinking on the perspective that Alex is presenting on if he could think of any signs or hints as to memories being altered, hidden, or otherwise missing from, just being sealed or something, from something as unorthodox as a time loop, but can still try.
Don't forget the memory echo. We still have that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
just
this is in case, actual studying of the nature of memories.
Just by thinking right now, you could do perception or investigation to see if that was similar back then.
Okay. Let
Plus
me
one.
double check my investigation, because we know perception is shit. Alright. Wow. Do I want to resolve that?
I don't know.
I don't think so. 8. Yeah, Krim doesn't.
Yeah,
know. This is too weird.
You're not sure. It could be sealed or lost memories.
Just so you know, I rolled a 2. Safer than that 1. I don't think there's any way Krim's getting that.
So that's possible, as Vela says. Maybe there's some other factor. Maybe it's some quantity that you can have none, some, or a lot of, because you seem to describe a spectrum as these loops went on. It's not age, it's not strength.
Can someone... Krim already talked, right? Yeah, he already talked. That was already taken care of for this area, because he said that he wasn't going to be too hidden about it, at least in small groups. They surely won't study him. So Krim will speak up. The memories did eventually come back, kind of. Not for us, for the people who just went through the same loop. Remember, Austin? And a few other people who seemed to know that something bad should have been happening but didn't
And probably
when we prevented
remembered-
it.
It might have recalled our breaking and entering.
So, it's not necessarily immunity, just more resistance that, we had, immunity, kind of, but some people started getting a resistance once things diverged.
Like a sliding scale of some quantity we don't understand yet.
I wonder if it's some kind of hidden aptitude, because before all that looping, we didn't know each other. We only came together because we were the only ones who remembered. We kind of stuck around since then, but
What do
that's
all
kind
of
of the
us have?
filter.
What do all of us have in common that the average person there wouldn't have?
Player levels.
Well,
Cole, like,
Oh.
is looking around you guys.
Since we're all running for
Crim's-
something.
Crim's eyes bug out a little nervously, like, what do I have in common with any of these people anymore?
Wait, dude, I think you might be onto something. Maybe it's something metaphysical that you share. Like you're running for something, how principled you are, how weird a person or personality you are, how unordinary. I mean, you're all kind of unusual.
Thank you.
We're all wanderers or something, I guess.
That's true.
It's unfortunate that
Well-
the one man who would know all of this, who supposedly created all these powers, is halfway across Bills right now.
Bill's like not even hearing you. He's like, it's not your age, it's not your eye color, it's something you're wearing. Or maybe the time of day you were born or hatched. There's something. We don't know what it is, but we can figure it out.
Krim suddenly gets a brief existential question of, what counts as my birthday now?
When were the rest of you born?
I want
I-
to have. Sorry. I want to have Kashmir think back to when they first met. What was the consistencies between them? And how they all arrived?
Wade was already there, having some prearranged arrangement with Huston. I think you and...
Excuse me.
It wasn't like you were all right at the same time, people kind of wandered in. You all were more or less at one time watching as the wagon tipped over from that rock. Yeah, no obvious pattern there.
You all wanted to help. I wish you all could talk to our Lord and Savior Devron, see what he'd have to say about all this.
Right. Says
Not that one.
Just one of the many aspiring hopefuls who want to try to recapture his glory.
Yeah, but again, if you trust his word, he was the one who created all of these. He seems to show a lot
Not created, distributed.
Don't really get it, because, I mean, to be frank, I'm not like any of you, really. I mean, maybe Krim and Turner are a little similar, but gotta be something else, I guess. I don't know what.
Krim looks at Turner and gives a nervous smile.
Cole says, I think it's multifactorial. I mean, you guys always have almost always have a weaker version when you get them. But other people, like Reginald, again, it's different. So there could be multiple things going on. I'm sure it'll make sense in time.
It probably has to have multiple factors that all converged for us, because otherwise we wouldn't be the only one known to have these across all of Bose. It had to have been something specific that just happened to get all of us at once. Either conditions, or lead-ups, or just happening to be there at the time with those other conditions.
Have any other students here been given these boons or curses, or whatever you want to call them?
They have, they're not sharing it. Vela says, probably a smart move.
I would say so.
I mean, some of the faculty are studying this info like crazy, so you guys will get answers eventually. I mean, Professor Zekra even left mid-lecture, because he decided the task force wasn't enough, he needed to go search for answers.
What? Wait. Why would someone leave randomly in the middle of a lecture for something like that?
He's a bit of a nut. He was thinking so hard about it, he was distracted, and some smart kid was like, hey, why don't you go find out yourself? And he was like, oh, stupendous idea, or something, and just left.
Where did this professor go? Do you not know? Just wandered off? Okay.
Hugs with a grin.
Says he has a power.
What,
I'll
people?
just note that one down for later. He says as he writes down.
5 silver says he has a power. Calling it now. We shall see.
Vela says, maybe yet another iteration of detect magic will be created for these time powers.
Oh, that'll be trouble.
They seem to end up with the worst people. Well, them just being gifted innately, you're taking them.
What we really need is some way to counter them. Something that can interact with them more directly, suppress them, or something like that.
Oh, suppressing would be very, very good, especially for the person that's going around killing others, and we can't really do anything about that because of his time power. That's pretty bad.
Apparently we are innate suppressors.
Not for that guy, apparently. Krim grumbles.
That is a good idea, says Vela. If you ever find out what this special factor is that unites all of you, and partially some people in Gardumble, I suppose, be careful, because if it's a variable, something you can change, if you turn it off or get rid of it, that would remove any of the protections that you had, like you experienced in Gardumble, which is a huge risk if you're up against something new. But if you could weaponize it by the same token, that might be incredible.
Something
Kole-
other.
Oh, good. First.
Something else useful in our would be, in the very end, if we were to take these time powers away to make them useless, seal them away forever. But it's one of the only ways we're going to resolve this crisis, even if it takes a long time.
So Kole, knowing what one of the potential prizes at the end of this is.
Yeah, once I take care of some things, I'm gonna be excited to play and win. I mean, if they let me win, I guess, if that's how it works. But you don't hone your bod and practice stuff 24/7. It seems like just to study or stay in one put. Like, I'm ready to do this. It sounds like it's a big wave, and even if the end goal is me getting a power, I'm more interested in the stuff that comes before and after that.
I don't really. Well, we are more going into this with as a means to an end. I don't have a problem making another fall, but we'll hold you to your end of the deal.
What's that again?
Get the power, and then allow us to hold on to it.
But I'll be
Technically
like,
safest with us, since you can't really use them as well.
but I'll be like
Bandit.
world famous and popular and cool. I mean, I don't know if I could just let it go like that.
Kind of exactly the problem. Because you would be so well known, you would have a gigantic target on your back.
Not to mention, if you have this power, no one could ever trust your victories in your sport as genuine. It's arcane doping, or time doping.
Time doping.
Well, they already all know the truth behind it. They're just choosing to buy into it. They're suspending their disbelief. It's just he might,
also-
he might be able to, he might put on less of a flashy performance. Go ahead, Nemo.
It's also worth noting that people who seem to like the glory and purpose of things are the ones that seem to be the easiest to corrupt.
So you're saying I work hard, I win the heart of the people in the capital of Bose, get to the very top, become number one, and then I'll give you the power. And in exchange, we get to hang out and drink beer at night? I mean, I guess in exchange you keep the power and then I'm safe. I don't get murdered or whatever, right?
And I think
Yes, if you would like us to describe to you the person who's going around killing people, we could. He's basically untouchable.
and our part of the
Well.
deal is also helping you get there. Who knows your abilities better than me? Go ahead, Doc.
You don't get killed, and you're less likely to turn into an absolute psychopath.
Oh yeah, that too. Forgot about that part.
I guess all these people you talked to along the way, they all thought they were cool, thought they could handle it, and then they couldn't.
That's a very common recurring theme, actually, yes.
The only one we left it behind with, we're actually not sure how he's doing anymore because he might have gotten hunted down. We don't really know. Kind of worried. I might write a letter.
Google?
I remember when I got my first power, I was filled with the innate responsibility and sense of the largeness of it. At my second, it's like, have you ever gotten called to the dentist? There's no excitement to it. It's just, finally. Alright. And if you do take this power, do you think anybody at this arcane dodgeball will ever want to play with you again? Knowing what you can do?
His tail twitches. Make a persuasion check.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for the fact that you didn't use your resolve yet, I would have given you resolve. Wade's been making some really good appeal to their logic moves right here.
Post-snap logic. Yay.
It's getting in their head, man.
Butter on a crab. 22.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I'm not in it for this power. That's just a boon. I mean, if there's a belt or something that it comes with, I'm gonna wear that. But if we can extract it, you said you can't get a belt to tell, so you'll figure it out.
You know, you're gonna wear a disguise anyways. Even if you do get the power, you can just take the mask off. I mean, who knows who the timekeeper is?
Well, knowing Kole, I don't think he'd want his outfit to cover too much.
I mean, fair, but
He grins, and it looks like it could be the cover of a newspaper or something. It's so perfect. All right, well, I gotta wash up. I was gonna do a private coaching with one of our not so great members. You remember Samus Turner? Yeah, he needs a lot of tutelage.
It's time powers to more do a little ball.
Wow.
Best of luck with that
I
one.
didn't want to say it.
All right.
Apparently, not every nerd can be molded into a star athlete.
Like claps the nearest of you two on the shoulders and takes his leave. And Turner, you alone could probably tell that it's unlike him to suddenly leave a social gathering. Well, I would love to talk with some of you more. I think I'll have to put my work to the side for at least a few days. But that's okay. That's okay. I'm at the state of my studies where it's more self-guided, not as much rigid with the terms.
Well, I don't want you to sacrifice your own future for this, but well, you're probably one of the few people here who I could really lean on for this.
Happy to help. Exciting times. Exciting discoveries. I would like to speak to, Alex, are you from the Theron wetlands in Angvar?
Yes.
I couldn't help but notice your clothes
Get
and
doxed!
some of the abilities you demonstrate. Listen, I'm
She's-
very interested in the
she's like
biomancers.
this.
I've never actually talked to one. Could I pick your brain sometime? Maybe some tests, electrical measurements, that sort of thing?
At least talk about it. We can go from there afterwards, I suppose.
Right. He's like blushing. I am so sorry. Yes, let's just talk. I would love to simply hear things from your home and your abilities.
Grim has the distinct impression that he just dodged a bullet.
Don't worry, she's like this. She almost knew more about my caravans than I did.
Gotcha. Yeah, sure.
Great. Also, I do have some curiosity. Crimson.
The bullet redirected itself.
It ricocheted.
How would you? One sec.
Burbus, your duties are required.
She'd be like, judging by how you, during this story you've told us, I couldn't help but wonder, the form that you have is not the one you were born with, is it? Because you don't have the marks of certain transmutation. Transmutation is my expertise that I'm familiar with. And the way you speak, the accent you have, wondering if we could talk about that sometime.
Oh, well, okay, I suppose so.
I'll make sure to.
Grim's
hold
like
her
smiling nervously, like he can't deny anything when asked so politely, but he's also horribly nervous.
I'll make sure to hold her dissection tools.
Grim believes Turner.
She fluffs herself out a little bit, subtly, like she's pleased she got a guess right. Great, okay, well how about after dinner we can meet in the organics lab? That'd be
Okay,
great.
sure.
Thank you. Just gonna go get my notebook and some tools, and she keeps talking as she walks off.
Well, I guess I was kind of silly to think that I wouldn't be studied a little bit while here, but she seems nice.
Yeah,
Are we
Yeah.
you'll
still
be in good hands.
Yeah, you got some
Are
good
we
friends, Turner.
in the muffle effect?
Oh, let me check out the works.
You can always recast
Uh,
it if need be. Like, maybe we had done it a couple of times.
I think it lasts 10 minutes, but let me check. Control F, garble. 1 minute. So yeah, she would have recasted it, so it only lasts a few more seconds after she left.
Is it like just a cantrip or is it a spell?
It is a leveled spell, and it
Okay.
seems she has abilities to burn on that front.
Okay. She does a solid.
Okay.
What is
I'll shoot some rest.
why do you ask, Doc? Do you want to, or you don't want to say?
Was going to speculate on some more things, but probably wait till we're back in our room before doing so in this case.
Okay. Does Alex want to urgently take us there or no?
It's not super urgent now.
Okay. Well, circumstances aside, it's still nice to be back.
Nostalgic, I imagine. Mind seeing another one of these dodgeball matches.
I'd have to check the
I
schedule.
don't have any of the signs of a typical transmutation. I guess that makes some sense. I'm just surprised. I guess if there's anywhere that would spot it, it'd be here, but I have to be even more careful. Well, talking to people hasn't gone badly yet, and with the advertisement of that method, maybe that'll just be more common. I kind of wanted that anyway, right? Right?
You've always wanted to lead a cult?
Well, it doesn't have to be a cult. I'll find a way to make it, less culty. Being a dragon's cool, right?
I wouldn't know. I've always been a bird.
I used to always be a bird.
I imagine it's a pleasurable afterlife.
Well, you have some hours to kill. At some point, Starcatcher will be heading out with newly hired Kole in tow, and she is awaiting your final answer as to how you want to proceed in your involvement in SHL. But there's plenty of other things you could do here, too.
Well, we do have some resonance to research.
You can talk to her about joining SHL as a team. I think that's the most logical action.
The big question there is, if we do that, are we going to be helping Kole get to the top and get the Timekeeper powers that way, or are we going to have to take matters into our own hands and then get it directly, or do we both join and best man gets their shot, basically, deal or otherwise?
I kind of like the idea of us hey, if we want to go with the idea of helping Kole get the win here, we can be like the heel team.
That's true.
Is it looking to spoil Portal 2? Is that bad? Or,
Sorry, what was that?
What?
Portal 2 spoilers? Is it? I mean, it's been
It's been so long.
A decade and a half.
Yeah. It's gonna be like helping Wheatley control the facility.
That to an extent, but I think the thing that I'm actually more worried about is if we job for Kole at the semifinals, so then he takes on the Timekeeper or whatever. It's out of our hands after that point, basically. Whereas if they try to pull a fast one on us when we're fighting the Timekeeper, we probably have the know-how and firepower to force the win off script. I don't think Kole has that.
We had some way to fight alongside him.
I think the best option would be to try to maximize the number of outcomes that are favorable to us In other words, having both us and Kole going for it, I think, is the best approach.
Yeah. And also going in like with a single plan in mind, it's almost inevitably not going to work how we want it to.
I agree, but speaking broadly on our initial proposals, I agree with what with Alex's proposal here and what Doc is saying. In addition to the fact that we can then decide if we want to job or win against Kole in what will hopefully be the semifinals at that point, because we'll have a better idea of what the actual circumstances are then. We don't have to decide that now if both of us are in the running. So yeah,
like rest of the battle royales at the very end, where like there's only 2 people left, and one of them knowingly just like runs out of the ring to eliminate themselves.
It's gotta be more epic than that.
No, yeah, you gotta. There's an art to jobbing, but the with that being said, I guess that means that we all agree that the proposal is we will join as our own team. Because I doubt we can join alongside Kole. That'll mess a lot of things up in terms of Kole's future prospects and general team size. So we'd probably be joining as our own team, or as multiple micro teams, depending on what the rules and regulations are. But the bottom line is we're all in.
Could also have like Kole join one team and like split up into 2. That'd be 3 and 3.
2 teams of 3.
For jobbing, we need some of us to be like Reptile and Baraka from Mortal Kombat, like same sort of persona.
Wow.
And thinking back to the conversation that Kole had with Starcatcher, yeah, there were mentions of pros and cons to this distribution of people joining, assuming you are all joining. Sorry, I lost my spot.
I forgive you. No worries, Rufus.
Give me 1 minute. Oh, there it is. Okay, so you already had been seen together. You could stick together. That may be the easiest path, although you'd need probably a theme or a theme of being so different. You could enter individually, but you might have to compete against each other at some point for the favor of the crowd and the organizers in terms of the writing of the story and its outcomes. Or you could do something, yeah, like 3 and 3. But keep in mind that in the highly secure, highly visible arenas, especially as it gets more and more towards the championship, you might not all be able to be in the ring at the same time when it counts.
If something happens, like if Bowser shows up in the middle of the congratulations for a surprise fight. That is a real... Well, actually, if something like that did happen, I think security would be out the window at that point. It'd be pretty easy to fly into the ring to help, so to speak. You know, if Mr. Murderer decided to show up.
Does you have an opinion?
Oh, okay.
Well, Kashmir's like really trying to figure out, mainly just from the previous conversation, how the time, like how it's been manifesting, how the time power's been manifesting.
Stuck on that.
Yeah, and in his mind, he's just deciding, okay, you know what? We're not gonna get anywhere if we don't pursue this. It'll lead us to something. But me and him are torn on how exactly to go about it. So
Could leave it to Starcatcher too to decide what she thinks would maximize.
yeah,
Their odds.
Yeah.
I do like the idea of a 3v3, but that's that's one opinion. And I don't even necessarily mean Turner being on Cole's team either.
Stay together as long as we can. That's what I prefer. Our gimmick could be with a chronological council, a group of individuals banded together to use these time powers for good and restraint and wisdom.
She would arguably be the best person to ask in terms of if we want to maximize our chances of winning. That is to say, balance appeal versus combat readiness versus like the script writer, so to speak, having something to work with. what would be the best arrangement for all of us to go in, and we can roll with that.
And she did watch us fight last 2 combats, so she has an idea of what we're capable of.
Yeah. I'm more thinking like hypothetically speaking, if we all joined as one team, we might be less cohesive to the audience in terms of like, oh, this one person against this whole team? What is this? The Power Rangers? Versus if it's like a triplet or a doublet, that'd be more like cohesive to the wrestling thing. That's not just solos, which would be significantly harder for us in general.
Or
I don't know.
for me.
Asking her seems like
Okay.
the good choice there.
My thoughts are like easier to stand out if you're like a solo person, but also maybe
Harder
a
to
bit-
win.
Yeah, so it's kind of like you got to kind of balance that.
So maybe plan for now then is sign initial contracts. Hey, we're all going to join SHL, but I'm not signing on for these specific blah blah blah. We'll have to figure that out. Give us another day or two. Let's talk it over. Maybe on the way back. Except by the time you
Yeah.
are in Griefy, you're settled. Does that sound good?
Turn also does
Yeah.
want to ask Vela how she would feel about like using some of her magic to maybe for those who are here who don't want to go as themselves, you know, maybe get magical disguises of some sort or out, you know, for the performances. Basically, lend her skills to that if that's what she'd be up for.
She would say. I have to share this funny backstory thing with you later, Will, about this. But she would have a discussion with you and say, yeah, she's been trying to learn as much as she can so far, but now she understands she's got to put her studies on pause. So she thinks that being a good friend, especially in these times, is #1 priority. So she's willing to even go along with you to Karifi, at least for a few days, maybe a couple weeks, to work on appearances, colors, costumes, or even physical costumes, because transmutation is her expertise.
Okay. For his part, Turner will, in their off time, just be a brain for her to pick for whatever she's doing.
Okay. And she would ask you to, like, at some point, we don't have to see it in this live RP, but she would get together with Kole to ask you, like, okay, personally, how are you doing? How's your shoulder recovery? You actually feeling okay about all this time stuff and these zany new friends you found?
Is that something you'd want to do in like a texting, or do you want to just kind of like give the gist?
Probably just the gist.
Okay.
Friendship catch-up time, you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Then, yeah, he'd mentioned that he was you know, while he was still at the school in recovery, he was just a bit hard to just kind of watch everybody else, you know, particularly on the team, you know, still going out there, putting you know, using their crafts while he was just kind of like on the sidelines and just kind of wanted to go out and do something real out in the world instead of just kind of being stuck there. And he's kind of taken on the responsibility for what it is, and well, obviously there's a reason out there somewhere that they're the ones who were picked. And so, yeah, it just kind of feels like it's right that they do.
Yeah.
Right that he does.
Kole and Bela would be very excited and joyful and sorrowful about your description of the practical uses outside of school for the stuff that you guys have all learned. And they'd also ask you about if you'd been back home and how your people, so to speak, feel about all that stuff.
He'd mentioned they'll visit back in Karifi, that they may or may not still be there when they get back.
They do like to wander.
On your way back to the guest rooms you have here, you pass one room that seems to be either a club or a small class. One person says, "I summon Dark Wizard."
Oh no.
Another person says, "Ha! I'll choose my best summon, Pink Snout Green Wyvern. And by the way, its illuminating fire breath will counter Dark Wizard perfectly. Dark Wizard was a bad summon against me, knowing what my trump summon was going to be." And the first guy, so
That's
confident, says, There are no bad summons in this spellbook, Taiba. This was my grandfather's spellbook.
Taiba.
Oh my god!
I don't know what Taiba is reference to, but I'm guessing is this the other sport,
Taiba.
quote unquote, that I had put in the thing, Tal?
It could be a variation of that, yeah.
Oh, because I'd as way of kind of like fleshing out the school, I'd also mention like there maybe be some type of like a magic duels that happen, or like summoner duels, and where people just kind of send out their Pokemon to fight for them, and yeah, they can only use their other magic to help their unit, but not attack the others.
This is a card game.
And that's what Tal turned it into.
Waste sits on the bleachers and gives very concerned, rapt commentary as the camera pans to him intermittently.
Oh my god, no! Stop!
Everyone around you
Before we're
looked like
lost completely. Quick,
stock
hand
wolves
the
and
camera.
pets.
God,
Sounds like
I never like watched or played Yu-Gi-Oh or Magic or any of that stuff. So I mean, I watched Pokemon obviously, but like, so yeah, so a lot of these ones are kind of going over my head.
Something shocking happens, and like sequentially, everyone goes.
You hear Todd
That's
go,
just in the anime.
"Oh, is this life count decrease?" Anyway,
Oh,
We need to start a combat and have it be it's my turn, even though like fifth on initiative.
Hard draw.
terrible.
okay. A moment later, in Labland, where everyone is welcome, but there are questions asked of Alex and Krim, who is present.
Turn right there.
Wait, you may say nothing better to do.
Kashmir will
Kashmir?
also be there. Yes, he will.
Wow, even Kashmir.
He'll be hanging in the back, leaning against the wall, his arms crossed, kind of hanging out.
Everyone, you see, what Kashmir does is he provides the cool factor to what is otherwise the nerd club.
Exactly.
So by having him there, it gains legitimacy with the rest of the school, you know?
You arrive at the organics lab, which is a school lab. You got the black-topped tables, a million cabinets and drawers, and like rolling cabinets for moving to different workstations. And in some of the glass cabinets, you see components for magics of transmutation, enchantment. You see textbooks about herbology, biology. There's even a greenhouse adjoining the room on the west side.
I was gonna say, does organics mean like organic chemistry?
No, probably more like biology, zoology.
I was gonna ask if they had any picric acid.
You could roll for picric acid if you wish.
God, roll for picric acid.
20, oh god.
Let's pick up like the chemicals for like mustard gas.
No, picric acid, if it crystallizes, I believe is the acid that fucking explodes.
Yes, it is highly explosive.
It's the thing where if someone posts a picture on Reddit of, hey, what's this? And it shows like crystals at the cap, people will immediately flood the comment section saying, call a bomb squad and leave the room. Like,
My
unironically.
goodness.
It's chemically almost identical to TNT.
Oh wow.
Jesus.
I was gonna go on another tangent, but I'll hold off. Okay. You're there, Kole and Vale are also there. Kole's been sizing you up a bit, Krim, because your body's so different from everyone else's. And he does a little, like, weird movement with his feet and a skip and, like, hips a heel up and then does a movement with his hand and casts some quick spell on a nearby couple of chairs that, like, bend and creak and merge until it's a big chair built for a quadrupedal person like yourself.
Anthro-adaptation. Clever.
Oh, yeah, that's what it's called. Anthro-accommodation alteration? Yeah, AAA, we call it.
You know, that's particularly hilarious because I think Krim is technically the opposite of Anthro.
That one's called quadrupedal accommodation.
Really,
Feral accommodation.
I just called it the cringe cantrip.
No.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
downside.
in this case, would it be the crimge?
No,
Hey.
Krim seems pleased by the accommodation. He usually just like handles the floor or something, and like gets a little booster seat that he just sets there and kind of wiggles in. So I was like, oh, this is nice.
Cole looks like he's about to start asking you more, Krim, and then like Vela walks through with like a wing hand in his face, like, please shut up. Your eyes are like laser on you, Alex.
Wow.
Right. So, you should know, my thesis is on how body-altering spells like Alter Self eventually cause changes in the brain that reflect physical changes that can be measured behaviorally, structurally. I won't get into it, but I would just love... Can you tell me how do you do magic? Is it true that some people can call upon primal energies to change their shape? She's just like,
Yeah.
has a notebook ready.
I've done it a couple times. It feels kind of weird. I don't really like to. But it has been useful every now and then. I've never heard the thing about alterations to the way you think, though.
Interesting. So there's no alteration of that. She's scribbling. Yes, some spells can do that. Many magical effects. I mean, I don't even need to explain this to you. You can probably turn my head into a pumpkin. I can't do things like that.
I'm really only good at altering myself, not generally anybody else.
I could turn you into something, but only for an hour. I'd have to wait a day.
I speak to you. Do you have how can you do that?
No, just dispel polymorph. It's fine.
Oh, right. There is that as well. I guess I have that.
She keeps interviewing you guys, talking, and she mentions polymorph is not a classification she's aware of, but she's heard of people who could do similar things, including herself, she says. But she would produce this, like... She would nod, yeah, at least for transmutation. She would ask you a lot about how your magic works, how the process is, how much energy it takes, ask you and throw another one your way just for fun, a couple surveys. She wants to do some measurements of your brain. If you're willing, she kind of eases you into it. You just gotta wear these couple headbands that are magically linked to this pen and that sort of stuff.
Fuck you, eugenist. Yes, we just measure your skull and we'll see.
Wow.
Well, it's possible,
Terrible.
Vela, you'll have plenty more subjects in the near to late future.
Alex awkwardly agrees to this.
Oh wait, no, she's
Kind of,
never mind.
Seems
Yeah.
to go with the mentality of, well, help a friend of a friend, I guess.
Oh, we're friends?
Potentially can demonstrate a few things. I actually happen to have Alter Self prepared right now.
She would love to see your version of that. She would also love for you to do the Biomancer stuff from Angvar.
Well, most of what I can do on demand for that involves draining life from people, which I'm not particularly keen on doing right now.
Oh. I mean, we could grab some greenhouse specimens. The data, I'm sure we can write it off. No?
You're sure? I don't know if it works on regular plants or not. I've never tried it.
Well, she will half run, half flap over and pulls back like some saplings that are in the midst of some other experiment. There's like a note cut underneath it. Some student has been writing things every day. And she's like, yeah, you can use
no.
this.
Oh.
Well, if we're experimenting with this, might as well. Alex will indicate to try to, I don't know, if somebody has like a knife or something, cut one of them a little bit. And then he'll use Land's Aid and I guess siphon energy from most of them except for that one specific and try to heal it, see if anything happens.
Okay. I'm not sure exactly what Land Aid does, but if it restores hit points to plants...
It it can heal one creature in an area for 2d6.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's like a half hit point of damage. So you use this and soil, the whole plant just like shakes with the force of the vibrancy you're providing it.
So most of the others, all of the others take necrotic damage. One of them, the one that was cut, try to mend the cut.
Okay. And perhaps the other plants nearby wither. She thinks this is very cool. She's more interested in the stuff that's changing forms from one to another, especially this druidic shape-shifting she's heard so much about. But she appreciates what you just did there.
Well, hey, I'm changing it from alive to dead.
And everything has a price.
Imagine
Well-
what you vivify.
I guess I can do this.
You
And
probably look very
I'll go.
uncomfortable being like the subject of a performance here.
Being the center of attention does not suit him. We'll put it that way. I guess I will go ahead and use Wild Shape, and I'm not really able to think of any other form to assume at the moment. He ends up turning into something that vaguely resembles a wingless version of Krim.
Oh,
A little lizard drake thing.
See, this is the best part. He talks.
the headbands kind of shift with the shape change of your cranium, even size change, and she's like blank face, just like looking you over, writing notes, checking what her quill has been writing.
Just a few more lizardy.
It
Instinctual.
has some pretty significant drawbacks. I can't cast any spells in this form, so I don't tend to use it very much.
She checks you over, especially attending to your face. Would like ask you some orientation, cognitive type of questions, and maybe a few minutes pass of this, and she thanks you very much. So she'll be able to write certainly 3 more pages to her thesis with this view. And she also remarks, "This is very different than what I've read. Not very different. This is a different caliber of ability that I've heard of. My second-hand, third-hand sources from Angvar. Are you?"
Really? What were you gonna say?
I mean, is this typical?
I've developed my abilities a bit more than the average person has. So, I mean, the magnitude's better, certainly, but I mean, the changing shape thing here like this, doing it to at least some degree is not actually too difficult to learn.
That coupled with that demonstration on the plants.
That's a lot more specialized. I draw my power from the land itself, and it's a manifestation of that.
Well, if you demonstrated such things to the faculty, I'm sure you could be paid handsomely to be a guest lecturer. But you have other things to worry about, we all know. Thank you again.
Am I okay to go back to normal now?
She squeaks. Yes. Sorry.
Rock sits.
And
Guys,
he
we gotta protect her.
Reverts to his original form.
That part comes from talking.
From what I was reading, it's supposed to be outdated, but you can't talk when you shapeshift. 10-year-old handbook.
So you have to invest in telepathy, and it's a pain in the butt.
One of your friends has to have speak with animals prepared. It's a whole thing.
Terrible quality of life, really.
Yeah, you go through the whole dungeon and you can't roleplay because you gotta give up your wild shape.
It's awful.
Oh yeah,
It's like,
I clomp determinedly. I snarl angrily.
Wow.
I
What
whack
the
my
fuck
tail.
is happening?
Do you like the
Some
thing?
players have fun with it.
Do you like the thing that horses were reported to do, where you do like Morse code with your
Oh
feet
my
or
god.
something?
But you're also nigh unkillable.
Tal, you have a lot of experience with this one.
I do like druids. Okay.
Wow, how did
Cool.
Mark get over there?
Teleported.
Maybe Cole breaks out a box of like healthy granola bars and magically enhanced water to replace sweat loss as you guys take a break from this.
Wow, he's inventing his own
Gatorade.
Gatorade.
Is it like the
Yeah.
actual like, flavored Gatorade, or is it like that new stuff where it's just water?
I'm sure Presto can make it flavored, right?
It seems water that's undergone some enchantment, nothing added.
Oh man. Prestidigitation would make taking medicine so much better.
Wade drinks it, just kind of like wrinkles his nose and just starts smoking.
Wow. Breaking,
Wait, do you have to do that inside?
destroying the purpose of health.
Apologies. What's that happened? He starts waving it off, like toward the window.
I don't know what the problem is. Kashmir's eating one of the granola bars. Problem.
Mumavela has approached you, Krim. So, Krim, or Crimson, which is it?
Crim is, short for it. Crimson is, like, he seems to do his equivalent of blushing, where the crystalline scales on his cheeks darken a bit. But it's kind of just a name I came up with to sound cool, since, new body, new opportunities, and, it'd be kind of silly if I can't even say my real name anymore. High chirp and things like that. I don't have the sounds for it.
Turner will say Fafami and however it would sound as a chirp.
Yeah.
She nods at what you were saying, seeming to understand. I think I get it. Bodily transmutation is my passion, and changing the form you were given at birth, making it different, making it what you want it to be, or what it should be, or rarely what it must be. I understand, and I've talked to many other people who share my passion. Do you mind telling how this happened to you?
Well, I know some of it, but I'm afraid I forgot the rest. You see, and then Krim briefly glances at Turner like, trust her if I say this story.
Thanks a lot.
And then Krim explains what he knows. He starts by explaining that he used to be very sick. He doesn't go into too much detail because it's not really relevant to the science part, but he used to be very sick. He was probably gonna die before he hit 25, possibly earlier. And he started studying a lot. His parents and his village gave him some resources on how to look into things. He eventually found out about a ritual that could transform someone into a dragon, and he started looking into that. And eventually he was able to come up with some kind of ritual, and he remarks he can't remember one of the details of it, but he remembered feeling upset about it for some reason. And then he says that, however, eventually he was probably very unhealthy to the point where he just had to try with what he had, and it worked. But in exchange, he forgot part of the ritual, and all of his room burned up.
She becomes very curious about this. It's a cat in a box.
It's a cat in a box. And then when he sees the concern, he quickly interjects with, "Also, I didn't kill old me. I know that for sure. Thanks,
Yes,
Wade."
I can attest to that. Yes, I was surprised. I'll admit.
So, you can't remember the details. So do you...
I remember most of it, just one part is just gone. I don't know why.
She starts grilling you on some terms that you probably don't understand from an academic perspective as well as like Turner, but you certainly did your own deep study on transmutation back in the day. Like, do you recall the thermic adhesion values, and was there any ontoglyphic anchoring problems, or what form of lapse did you use?
There might be a few points where Krim would have no idea what she's talking about, ask her to write the word down, and then he'll say, "Oh, that!" Because he's literally never heard it out loud and only saw it in books. That kind of thing.
It's like, huh. Do you want to know?
I think I would like to study it a bit more. I'm sure that there are some people out there who have dying bodies and aren't ready to go yet. This would be a great way to help them. Maybe not dragons, I guess, but something like it.
Okay, Nemo.
So I could offer... We do this on specimens when we don't know the nature of their transmutation. I could offer a... This is going to sound very... I could offer a flesh-shaping bone biopsy procedure. Maybe in your flank, sort of yield out a piece of your femur. You're certainly big enough for it. Do some rituals on it, and see what the nature of it is.
Oh, I suppose if you can heal that missing part back, I kind of need the femur.
Oh yes, it'll only be a small segment. It will leave a scar under the scales, probably.
Well,
Don't worry.
I suppose I've dealt with worse pain.
I
A
was
lot.
I was joking when I said I would be taking your dissection kit, but
Though, there is something that, I guess would be worth noting if you're doing this for research purposes is, I'm pretty sure something did change. Mentally, I mean. I mean, for one, walking on all fours came pretty easily, for one. I'm a little clumsier, admittedly, but I think that's how I've always been, and just didn't have the opportunity.
That can indicate that it was either more involved and powerful transformation, or one that is less controlled, more chaotic. I guess
Yeah.
we'll see.
I'm pretty sure I wasn't always fascinated with gems either, and, well, it was warned about that you'd get that preference.
Were you also... Never mind.
Also,
That's funny, Krim. You seem like a perfectly normal dragon to me.
thank you.
Finish your query.
Oh. Well, he's describing, draconic instincts.
Oh.
There's nothing else.
Oh, well, there was this one time when, someone somewhere had made someone look like a dragon for a short while. She was very pretty, actually. But don't worry, I'm not interested anymore. He glances at, Cash.
Kind of does a double take. What?
Don't worry, Shatter. I said elsewhere anyway.
Right. Well, we can use Area B. If any of you know how to do rituals, we could do the basics together. Feel free. Cole, can you get me some of them? So it's instructing you, Turner, as well as Cole, and if anyone else wants to help, just doing some ritual stuff.
I mean, I probably don't know the specific ritual involved.
Like, just start with a circle, basic containment, 3 triangle arrangement, etc.
Oh, I know how to do those ones. Here, let's find the schematics and we can all work together.
Like how everyone can do magical stuff. Kashmir's magic is like, I go fast and do things like magical.
He holds up a hand. He's like, "I'll hold a candle." Go on.
I'll give a very inspiring speech in the process.
Kashmir's magic involves fucking up a single enemy by hitting it like 5 times with 4 different things.
Bela's about to like brutally shut you down casually, and then Cole's like, "Yeah, that's perfect. Stand right here." Like 6 feet away from where the magic's happening. It's essential. It's an anchoring point.
Just gives a thumbs up. The candle with the other hand.
Okay. So an hour and a half later, after a bunch of stuff is placed in certain ways, and there's glyphs and stuff with this ink that's on supply, and she says some words, and there's some incense in the air, and the door is locked, like ritual in progress, blah blah blah. Finally, she begins to cast this ritual. The air tightens, the lighting seems to dim. Your left flank, kind of where your left hip is, of your massive thighs, the base of your tail, Krim tingles and itches, and she reaches forward with like a couple of forceps, and with her other hand like doing smaller gestures to direct the magic, and like grips a scale and pulls, and like the whole area like goo sort of like extends outward.
Krim's not watching.
It tingles but doesn't hurt. She spends a minute or so doing this twisting motions, kind of like tunneling, warping your flesh until it's like a natural tunnel all the way to the bone. And then she pulls out like a inch long, like quarter centimeter thick column of your outer bone, and then warps it all the way back, although it is a little discolored and not exactly as smooth as the surrounding tissue after that.
Is it done? Krim's eyes are just squeezed shut.
Yeah. She floats it above her hand with a little cantrip. Says, "Yes, fine specimen. You can even see the layers. It's so pronounced when you... It's so thick. Anyway,
Wow.
give me one moment."
Turner has like a little mage hand for Krim to just like bite down on.
Probably should have offered to put you to sleep for that, sorry.
That's alright, it didn't actually hurt as badly as I thought it would.
She's humming to herself now. She's brought the specimen to a little like clean area on one of the tables a few feet away. Cole's wandering over, looking at it too. She's like dumping some powder on it, mentioning the spell scar lines will show up in a certain pattern depending on the origin and concentration, muttering other such things.
Oh, are there other ways to tell the origin of a spell? I could probably give some hints from that. I remember having to learn a few languages and where... I don't remember specifically where they were found, but we do know it's divine.
She's mid-answering you, and then falls silent. Oh, Turner, could you help me with this?
Sure. Sorry, the music has changed here, so I'm suddenly very worried.
She like beckons you over and says some mumbo jumbo, and then quietly, Can Krim be trusted, Turner?
Why would you ask that?
I mean, he's been helping you. He hasn't, I don't know, tried to kill you or steal your soul in the night or something. There wasn't any funny incidents, were there? Okay.
Nothing of the sort. If anything, he has been the most naive and just forthright person I've ever met.
I'm just thinking back to when Krim and Cash were just camping out in silence. Cash wasn't even doing anything, and Krim, under the pressure, was like, "Okay, I'll talk."
She moves her hand and some of the instruments away, and you can see the bone now has been marked by these reagents she's put on them, sort of crisscrossed, dark crimson lines in a specific. If you had the right mastery of this, you could probably glean a lot from how widely spaced they are and how much the reagent was taken up by the bone. Could you give me a Arcana check, please?
Okay.
Ooh, that's always fun.
We say how this is happening. Wade will whispers over to Krim. Do you think she can be trusted?
Okay, I got a 5 on the die. I'm
Then
gonna
just-
use my resolve to turn that into an 11 on the die. I think that's a 21, but let me make sure.
Jesus Christ, do you have
21.
expertise on that?
Yeah.
Nice.
4th level feat, I think. Yeah.
Okay. You can tell that this bone, what this ritual means, the 21, is that this bone has been shaped by the power of the hells. Not necessarily a devil, but a force using the devil's power, which is typically devils. Something from that plane. That is the source of the power that has done this to this bone. And you would, of course, know that everyone would know devils are entities of order, of planning, of schemes as means to corrupting the sentient beings of other planes or obtaining souls, uplifted of both in the case of this world.
Then yeah, she would see Turner's eyes just kind of like widen in recognition there. It's not. It's not Grim who I don't trust, but it's let's just say I was skeptical about the source of this already, and you validated it.
Nods at you, and unless it's stopped, cautiously will turn around with the bone and
Snaps her things.
bring it for everyone. Oh, snap.
Yeah, I wanted to see if Kashmir heard this or not. With his big ears. Would you allow him to do that?
What was actually said and what was just like revealed to Turner, like from his own recognition, I guess, just to make sure so we're on the same page.
Yeah. She only asked him, like, the trust thing. Everything else I just said about devils and the devil's power was something that he gleaned from his Arcana check.
And then what Turner said.
Okay.
Do I do a perception roll for that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's hearing based, obviously.
Yeah, this hearing. He's standing there nonchalantly, like, flicking a finger at the candle's light, but his ears up ahead are swiveling.
Oh, let me get a signal.
I fish for a 20 here.
Well,
Okay, yeah, 23.
23. Due to forgetfulness or shock, she didn't do anything to block her words, so you heard
Same
them
with Turner.
crystal clear.
Same with
Okay.
Turner, he wasn't thinking about it either.
Fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just internalizes that information for now. Didn't say anything.
did Wade actually ask Krim, can you trust her?
Yes.
Krim would kind of glance at Wade and cheerily say, well, Turner trusts her.
Any of your secrets you
Say
want
that
to give
again?
out?
Biggle, we can't hear you.
Here. Yeah,
Oh, sorry.
hard to
Shit.
hear you.
Fuck.
No, we hear you fine now.
I just wonder how many of your secrets you want to give out. To her.
Well,
to
I
this-
mean, if there's any place that the risk and reward balances out, it'd be here, right? I do want to know more.
I suppose so. And he looks a little bit uncomfortable, but yeah, not so long.
She's turning around with the bone sample now in a little glass display dish and brings it next to the ritual so you can all see how it's been marked by these crimson, that's funny, lines in a strange pattern.
Can I, before it's said, can Crimson do an Arcana check? To just learn exactly what Turner had learned before it's announced.
Does have proficiency.
This will probably have no effect in the end, but it's just for the timing. The dramatic timing.
That's fun.
Whoops. That landed on... Oh, doubt it. 15.
15. You recognize these as spell scar lines, a way to determine how organic material has been altered, usually permanently by transmutation. But you don't know exactly what this pattern means.
Okay.
Turner can speak
Oh.
Infernal, so would he be able to glean more from the symbols, or no? Would you just know that they are infernal in nature?
I think Infernal and Spellscar lines are not related things.
Yeah.
It's like trying to read letters from a lightning bolt strike, right?
It's more like there's not letters on this. It's more like you've gotten coordinates, and you would know the coordinates mean hell.
Okay.
Is it arthritis?
I'd hope not. I'm pretty sure that's one of the things I had.
No, it means the power that transformed you came from hell.
Oh! Krim kind of smiles nervously, but his eyes bug out, and he's like, "Oh, that's real bad, isn't it?" Well, that explains why I had to learn Infernal.
That's weird. I mean, I'm not an expert on this, but aren't dragons like creatures of this world or something? Why would they have any connection to devils?
Yeah.
For what it's worth, the rituals and things I had to read about would not have existed in Bose for a while had it not been for some efforts with the other place and things like that. So anything goes at that point, really. But also, I'm pretty sure I remembered the light associated with what happened to me was divine in nature, not infernal. So what's going on there?
Well, divine doesn't necessarily mean benevolent.
Oh, I hadn't thought of that.
Cole nods it out. Okay.
I wonder if you're contract bound. That would complicate things.
I hope not. I kind of like my soul.
Cole nods at all those things that are being said. Like, yeah, I'm pretty sure dragons aren't hellish or angelic for that matter. And Vela says, it's about where the energy, the power of transformation, such a great and permanent transformation came from.
So potentially someone good could have done it and just used that as a base, right? I'm not damned for eternity, right?
Well, Kazimir kicks off the wall and kind of struts over. I don't see why it matters. I mean, Krim is still Krim, right? Who cares where it came from?
Well, it does matter, Kashmir, if we are going to potentially help others.
And Vela replies to you quietly. There's always a cost to power.
Yeah, Krim's still Krim, but I question who made that poster in Karifi, advertising that service. Probably a demon or devil.
No, I'm never getting my dragon cult.
He went to you in your dreams, right, Krim, under a guise of some wise, benevolent dragon?
Well, yes, but if we're talking devils, I was never given a contract or an agreement. If anything, it was just as I was dying, I just realized something on myself. In fact, I remember denying what... No, wait. I did deny something.
You at least don't remember getting a contract, right?
No, I definitely don't remember anything like that.
So,
I remember
given
being
the
upset
fact
about something.
that there are aspects of it that you very specifically do not remember. And actually, I seem to remember, didn't you... Wasn't part of the conditions that you would have to lose something?
I did have to lose something, but I feel my soul in there. You can feel that, right? That's a thing you can feel, right?
If we shoot magic bullets at him, does he have a little heart that can dodge them?
Cole says, "Yeah, did you lose the person you sacrificed for your devil ritual?" Just kidding.
never
Turner just gives
sacrificed
Cole
someone.
like a shut the fuck up look.
No, I definitely wouldn't do something like that. No matter how desperate I was.
He wouldn't.
mean-
He's definitely correct on that front.
I mean, it's
Oh, good.
even if it was like his last body or whatever. What does it matter?
Maybe the cost was everything in my room. It was kind of like very gone.
Oh,
And besides, like, I don't know anything about devils, but if you don't know about the contract, that can't be allowed, right? Right? They can't just give you a contract and wipe your memory.
They're devils.
Wait, Krim would actually be proficient in this, wouldn't he? He went to church.
Let me think about that.
it may matter that the man with infernal magic is now half invulnerable.
And Kashmir, none of our concerns here are about Krim himself. I trust Krim. I'm more than skeptical about those who are granting these boons.
I trust Krim too, and I trust what he says. But if this hasn't been a problem before, then I don't see how it can be a problem now.
Never came up, really.
Give me a religion check with advantage, please, Namu.
Religion check? Okay.
I will cast. Do I have it prepared? Yes, I do. I will cast guidance.
The advantage has saved my... What does guidance do again? D4?
Plus D4. Yeah.
4.
The advantage and guidance and natural proficiency has turned this into a 27.
My goodness.
Ow.
I rolled a 19 plus 6 plus 2.
Pretty good.
You're familiar with real planar accounts, folklore, and all other sources of these devil contracts, and you know they are quite real. You would know that a well-constructed contract, if it meets a reasonably intelligent person who knows they're making a deal with the devil, as may have happened in the past, for Krem was not an idiot, there should be clauses that are like, should the person suffer, loss of memory or blah blah blah, or something else that would make it so that the deal is no longer fair, then the deal would probably be made null and void. So yeah, it wouldn't have been able to go through with like a haha, but then I'll just wipe his memory afterward.
Okay, if that's the case, Krim will think and say, No, I went to church for this before I started dying. I know what happens if you make a contract with the devil. The thing with the devils is, correct me if I'm wrong, Tal, I'm kind of assuming this is kind of true from Forgotten Realms-ish. If a devil goes against their contract, really bad things happen to that devil, so they really don't like to, do things that are against the contract. It's kind of their thing. So the contract has to be fair, and in exchange they get something back, usually a soul.
Well,
But-
I don't necessarily know if fair is the word I would use, but
Well, I mean, you have to consciously agree to these contracts. That's what makes the devils so dangerous, because they can really entice you and things like that. But I went to church, even if I was offered something like that, even if I would die the next day, I wouldn't. No, the devil. That's insane. But I do remember denying something, being upset about something, and it worked anyway. Obviously, I'm here. What's that missing connection? And
Guess-
at this point, Krim looks like genuinely distressed. He's shaking.
I guess a possibility. Nothing in particular will happen to you specifically, but this movement that we've heard about, maybe you're meant to entice people to that, and that's where the trap's going to be.
No. I was about to do that.
Kashmir will go over to Krim and put his hand on him. As a
Krim's
calming
tail
gesture.
curls around Cash. He's effectively grappled right now as he holds him close.
He will awkwardly lean into him a little more. Like,
Bela's
We'll figure this
eyes. Bela's like eyes downcast, like this is awkward. Cole's like hands behind his head, like walking around, like what have I gotten into?
Would there be a sign of a contract in my bones, or something?
I believe the devil would have it in their possession or in their vault, if that's.
Yes, they're
No, like, do contracts have a specific spell sigil thing?
That's not my area of expertise, but I do know enough to say keep an eye out for spell work with pentagrams, places that are harder than you'd expect, certain scents. You know, all that superstition, I think, is truthful.
Could,
Oh god, my ritual had 5 pentagrams! Can you imagine? if
Could
it just-
could between Turner and Krim, could Turner get like a religion roll with advantage there to try to get an answer for his question there about would there be signs on his body of the contract?
Chances are it's just the spell scar of the effects. I doubt they'd encrypt a contract into the bones. Worth checking though.
You could.
Or that'd be like a investigation check or something like that. Or medicine.
You could do religion for sure. I will not say advantage though, because I think that's pretty
Well, it's only because we both have
nationed.
proficiency is why I ask.
Oh, I see.
Oh, you could do the help then. Yeah, sure.
Okay. Would Alex assist your
They rewrote Krim's DNA and encrypted the contract in binary using his genome.
Oh god, he's just like the dog from Cowboy Bebop.
Would Alex be able to
Yeah,
give him a roll too?
I'll go ahead and provide guidance for this. Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. Okay, so 16 plus 7 is 23 total.
3. I imagine you're looking Krim's body over just in case as you're doing this, and there's no sort of artificial pattern that you can find. Would it be somewhere else in him? Like on his irises, in his intestines, something crazy?
On his heart.
You think that'd be very unusual. Unless it was somehow related to the deal, some special stipulation, that wouldn't serve either party and certainly wouldn't even be able to easily be referenced, so you don't think that's what's going on?
Okay. Nothing on your exterior that we can see, so nothing we'd be able to glean without cutting deeper, which I am not advocating for.
Krim looks like he was trying to write something down on a notebook, but his paw is shaking too much, and he's like, "Okay, can someone else copy those marks for future study? I can't. I'm sorry." Like you can see that in his notebook, he tried to draw it, but the lines are all squiggly.
Alex will do it. He's got proficiency with calligrapher's supplies. He can probably make
Oh, that's
it
super good, actually.
pretty faithful replica.
Krim's got a
Very
-1 in sleight of hand.
That's like diagrams you see in like biology textbooks, like figure A, here's the specimen from this angle and this angle. Looks like Kole and Vela both don't really know how to end this conversation.
Thank you for everything you've been doing and for bringing this to our attention. Better now than later.
I have one question. Is there something I should be watching out for mentally? If this is hell magic, would it affect me in a way that I can prevent, mitigate?
I wouldn't think so. The things you've described so far seem really draconic, obviously. And that shouldn't be affiliated with the divine, as Alex said.
Well,
Unless
there are
there's
two-
some...
there are two particular deities that I can think of.
in this world, I don't think there's any deity that's associated with dragons.
Oh, so there's no like Bahamut or Tiamat?
No.
Okay, never mind then.
Trust
Sorry.
me,
No.
I would have picked that.
Okay.
Krim follows a different god.
Okay, that's her.
It's a different Pantheon entirely, actually. I don't think we're using that one here. But anyway. Unless there's some trigger that was agreed upon in a hypothetical deal. But that's not what happened. So, I think you're good.
Okay. I'll just be careful anyway in case I happen to be acting strange. I hope other people can tell me about that if it happens. You know, if things happen. Krim decides not to vocalize that time he ate a guy.
Yeah, it definitely would have changed this conversation.
With these powers, I think all 5 of us are actively, right now, undertaking a deal just as bad, if not worse. At least with you.
Oh no, devil deals are much worse, but I see what you mean.
Really? You're still you, which is more than what I can say for half of these time powers and what they do to people.
At least you can die peacefully.
Paul says, "Oh, hey, as they teach us ad nauseum in this school, it's not about the spell or the power. It's how do you,
How you
Vela?
use it?
Yeah,
The magic to bring back life is necromancy, like healing magic, right?
yeah.
That's true. Necromancy can be good or evil.
Again, the only suspicion is cast is on whoever made that poster.
That's true. If anything, it's all the more reason to investigate it.
Yeah, that was going to be my follow-up question. Does it change our plans there?
Well, I won't be going alone or anything like that if they ever ask me to. I would like you to back me up for anything to do with that now.
Look, location-wise, remind me, how many days of travel would it be to
I believe
get
it's
to that location?
I believe it's in the Kara region.
It was there, and also, that is where that dragon in my dreams told me to go. Well, vaguely. It said northwest.
Maybe like 2 weeks from Karifi or here, something like that. Very roughly.
We can ask the schedule for SHL. See if they can afford to wait.
Well, they said it was summer. That's the only real time limit we had. Though I wonder, the longer we wait, how many people might be lost to whatever this
Well,
person is doing.
my hypothesis is right in that you are the prototype. They probably won't be able to get very far without you.
That's true. Prototype. Huh.
Thank you, Tal.
It does say successful prototype will be present. Does that mean Krim? Is that someone else?
Why don't we just get some fresh air?
Don't.
I could really use that right now. He takes out a cigar.
Don't have to tell Kole and Vela twice they are the first to leave, although as Vela passes you, Turner, you just hear be careful.
Well,
Before we go on what I think is going to be a break, as if to try to break the awkwardness, Krim suddenly says, "I can go big, by the way," and we can cut from there.
You know, they say sorry, go on.
and this has been my life for the past few months.
Better the devil you know.
Krim
Okay.
shudders.
I don't know devil at all.
Big time.
See you guys in about 10 or so.
Hello, welcome back.
I gotta
Okay, here we are. Yes, it is probably getting close to dinner time on this lovely day. Nothing has disturbed the mood at all in your arrival here to this university. Kole would mention at some point through magical text messages or magical WhatsApp, he's like, yeah, apparently they want me to be back. They want me to be in the action as soon as possible. They want to leave tomorrow morning. If that's okay with you guys might want to make your decisions. Let's start catch your no ASAP.
Well, what do y'all think?
We'll tell her that we're joining up and we can work out the details on the way back. I think that's fine.
Alright. So we'll delay investigating this dragon.
Correct me if I'm wrong, there's some time before it's even open, right?
Said summer, and it's currently like end of spring, getting real close.
Yeah.
Do we think we need to be there right when it starts?
Well, from what the dragon told me, and I'm pretty sure the dragon we can trust at least on how much they want to urge someone to be there. They said as soon as possible, at least early in summer is the impression I had. So, it's probably fine.
You do recall, perhaps using Echo, this figure said, go northwest. You have plenty of time. Weeks. Spring has not yet ended.
And I guess,
Yeah.
meta-wise, I would, I guess like to, finish this arc before, I guess, jumping on to the next. Obviously a bit selfish too, but kind of jumping between things here and there might kind of make the narrative a bit awkward.
We can only really be in one place at once.
So far.
So
True
far.
enough. Yeah, true enough. Alright, well, I'm up to go to SHL then. It sounds like they don't want to wait. Also, pardon the in poor company joke, but I guess now we really know who is the dead.
Who is... Okay.
Maybe.
Well, no, we don't actually.
Yeah, true.
We'll work on that part.
Yeah, true.
We need
Kazra
to-
would also... Well, Kazra would point out that if this dragon really wants Krim to be there, he will... Or I guess she, right?
Yeah,
She will send another dream his way.
Point.
But in his case, yeah, he's at this point interested in going to the SHL, if only just to deal with this time shenanigans problem.
By the way, if I do get that dream again, I probably shouldn't say that I know anything, right? Assuming that she can't read my mind and things like that.
Probably not.
Okay, I'll try my best.
Is it up to like Baldur's Gate to be spoilers? Is that fine?
Don't
Some people.
spoil.
I'd say maybe just talk later, after session.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks. Is anyone proficient in cartography tools or something like that?
Yes, actually.
How many tools
nice.
do you
Wow.
have?
It's alarmingly specific.
Well, you would know immediately as you enter this grand hall for the dinner. You are allowed a few meals as guests here. And it's goat cheese night. Lots of goat cheese incorporating dishes.
Ugh. Hate goat cheese.
But does Alex hate goat cheese?
I was about to say, but your character loves it.
I don't know if he can metabolize it.
Hey,
It's great.
Shift into something that can.
Hey, I've
That-
decided
that's
that Turner can taste spicy, so it's up to you.
Whoa.
That's Power Fantasy, a character who you're playing as who can't eat your least favorite food.
You would notice walking in that the arrangement, this strange arrangement of tables, is the shape of an eye from above. You got like all the students, upper arc, lower arc, and then like faculty in the middle, making the pupil in a smaller circle for the iris. Anyway. Yeah, it's yummy if you like goat cheese. If you don't, oof. And then you're able to inform Starcatcher of your plan. She says and looks like she had no doubt at all that you would be wanting to join in some way after all you came all the way here and are interested. And she'd be like, yeah, we can remove this clause, we'll work out the details later, just glad you're on board. And then she would say, right, I know it's sundown already, but we should go grab that Kole fellow, that shining jock Kole fellow, and do some SHL practice out in that arena. If there's anyone busy using it, doing dodgeball, kick him out. I'll pay him off. Let's go.
Oh, we
Pay
can't.
him off.
Be warned, we're still a little used up from that earlier fight, but we can.
You want to tell the audience that? You want to say, oh, I'm too expended, I can't put on a good show? Or do you have what it takes, Wade?
She has a point, Wade.
Do all SHL combatants fight for their lives in real life? Well, obviously not, gauging by how well we hit the last one.
They might not, but their characters might.
Aren't we all just characters being played by someone? It's a real good metaphor.
Yeah. Because, like, have we been here for longer than a day? Or...
No, I think we just got here today.
It's been a full day at this point.
Bless me.
If we must, let's go.
She ushers you out through some amazing acumen, tracks down Kole and gathers him. He's just like, okay, if you need me, boss, kind of attitude. And soon you are finding yourself again at the outdoor field number 2. Again, plateau overlooking the valleys and the peaks outside near the university. And she says, let's have some fun, and starts clearing her throat and giving you a lecture on how things work. I will share with you some things in images. Give me a minute.
For the record, I have nothing to do with any of the SHL stuff, so this is all Tao's creation. My stuff is to school.
Actually, these are excerpts from Delver's Guide to Beast World. You guys are awesome. We are going to use some of your suggested mechanics.
Oh. Wow. Oh, Murdoch. I see you've transported dimensions again.
Images? No.
As he does.
I remember an SCP like that.
Okay, fine. I'll re-download it. Download.
Boy.
We're all secretly like isekai protagonists from like a really dystopic world. We're all living our idealized alternate universe.
Turner's not really mine.
Okay, in the images channel of our Discord, join the Discord. We'll see.
Come on the Discord!
Posted this day, June 25th. Rule changes for SHL encounters. So, the gist of it is one shy. You want to make your attacks look as if they almost hit. If you actually hit them, the crowd's like, oh crap, wow, that was not how it was supposed to go. The guy's like literally burned. That guy's literally cut open by the person's sword. You don't want to whiff horribly because then the audience is like, okay, this is fake, that breaks my fantasy. You want to be just one shy so that it's very close. And you could say, oh, but you're just rolling dice. How can you control that? Well, stay tuned. There's a way to alter your final result different from normal D&D rules. You also see some... Sorry?
Or can I bardically uninspire?
You can, I think, yes. And you could see whenever you would have advantage, you can take either result instead of the higher one. And when you roll a die that normally adds to the result, such as Bardic Inspiration, even if that example, you can subtract it as well if you wish.
Oh, that's
Add
clever.
up to the die's result.
Oh, yeah. And now the more juicy image. You have new actions. It is based on athletics to pull and catch. You know, how athletic can you make your sword slice just barely not hurt them? But you can use your spellcasting ability if you're doing it for a spell. I'll let you read that for a bit.
Wait, do we still have acrobatics? I thought it was...
It's mixed with.
It would be
athletics.
Dex Athletics.
Are there any con-based weapons? That'd be hilarious.
No, well, not one that I've adapted. The Dampier's Bite is actually a con-based attack.
That's weird.
So, and you get to choose the reduction, right?
I believe so. Yeah, these rules are fairly
Add-
new to me as well.
Add up to the dice result or subtract up to the dice result.
You might want to have both of those images pulled up somewhere for quick reference because we're about to practice with them.
Okay.
Oh boy.
There is also plenty of other rules and settings and other stuff for SHL that I will be drawing on some, but not all of. But this is the player character relevant thing.
Do you want
Gotcha.
to? I don't know if you're able to, considering it's part of another thing. Are you able to have the rules shown on the stream or no?
I am uncertain, so I'm erring on the side of caution.
Okay.
Right, so she'll say, explain all of this, which mechanically you're understanding out of game. So we're gonna have some practice, and how well you do will have some repercussions for your SHL participation. You know, I gotta see what you can do, and I'll give it to the writers, the other managers. First, we're gonna practice. It's gonna be consequence-free, but save your coolest actions, your best flavor, your spiciest spice for the end, I'll say. Get it?
Quick question. If I have a magic item that involves a safe DC, can that interact with, like, the pull mechanic? Does not specify.
So if that would give you a bonus to your poll results, you mean?
Yeah.
Then yeah.
In other words, I can use the pull aspect to adjust the save DC of a magic item.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. And I will remind you that the goal is not to surprise your opponent or wound them or control them. It's about impressing, not being effective, not doing what you did on that path here, you know? It's about maybe even you communicate what you're going to do with some subtlety. It's putting on a show.
Yeah, I can abide that.
We're calling our maneuvers then.
If it helps, if it's not obvious, maybe some of you have worked together before. Eyes, Kole, Turner.
How is this going to be divided up?
Let's take the two people who are the most gung-ho about this. Kole and Turner, you are the team captains. Go.
Oh, so are we? He kind of just looks to Kole. He's never been in like this position.
Kole laughed at your expression. And then he says, I'm taking the dragon. Points at you, Krim.
Oh, okay. Am I gonna be a talking dragon? Says the talking dragon.
Okay.
Shrugs.
I've always wanted to explore the dark side, so points to Kashmir.
Wow.
Casimir grins at him.
Does
I
that
won't-
count as racist?
Well, no, he is the devil now.
Right. Now he's a devil now.
I'll try not to hit you, Turner. Emphasis on try.
Well, it's not me you're trying not to hit, it's them you're trying not to hit. Still don't hit me either. Cole.
Okay.
Says a bit, and then goes, Wow! To you, Wade. Gestures you over.
By all means, you know, when Saunter's over. We'll settle this spots to spots.
And, Alex, just so you know, I've also been picked last, but I still made it to quarterfinals.
Fair enough. I'm definitely not the most natural pick for something like this.
Oh.
And she says, right, S-H-L! Roll for initiative.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta do
I'm
this.
just imagining it like T-V time.
Ooh, nat 20!
That's not my roll. This is my roll. Where is it? There it is. Much better second roll. 23.
I actually got a nat 20, so I'll have to put that in manually.
House got 16, so I. Oh, wait.
Is this the combat we get high rolls on?
No, don't worry, I didn't actually roll that high. There
That's
we
why I
go.
call bad luck.
Well, hey, our entire team gets to act first.
Oh no, I'm going after Cole.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, like, Turner, Cash, and Alex are on one team, and they all get to go first.
Oh, right.
Also, it's 3v3.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Gotcha.
Okay,
Okay.
let me quickly peruse at Turner's spell. Alright, I'm gonna third level cast Chaos Bolt.
Wow.
There's no way you have the slots for that. We just fought like the 3 H's.
I do. I actually do.
Oh shit.
Wow, you saved that.
Well, no, I mean, we got like an intermediate rest since then, so I have at least, you know, my one of each spell slot plus all my first levels and 2 of my second levels. Anyway, so yeah, Turner will kind of like gaze at you two, and then kind of just look to well, God, now he has. It's getting out of hand. Looking at the 2 cheetahs there.
And now you're the one doing it.
I know, that's why I sounded so defeated when I said it. Sorry, just once again, quickly looking at my stuff. Alright, I'll try to hold them off. Kashmir, you go in. He's gonna take out his staff and cast a web on them.
So the top 3 units?
Yeah.
Do I make a save right now?
Wait, I guess that doesn't kick in until their turn, huh? So I'll actually hold off on it because it won't do them much good right now. Damn, I wish I wasn't first. Oh well.
It's okay, I'm sure everyone else is deciding exactly what they're doing. If you get a crit on an attack roll, it's automatically 1 shy, I'll say. And if you get a crit on a save, it's automatically 1 shy.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Then yeah, he'll just instead just send a little warm up. He'll send a sorceress burst over in Cole's direction. Well, just a cantrip attack. It's a 10 on the die, which becomes a 17.
We don't know Cole's AC, so we gotta let this fly.
Yeah, I'm just taking another quick look to see if you'd want to use a True Strike on this or not, but probably not.
What equipment does Cole have?
He has a sports jersey, sports shorts, and
Probably it's like he's 18 AC. He's a very Dexy boy.
Does he have sports shoes?
he is bear pod.
I thought it was a
Oh,
cheetah.
I see.
He's cheetah pod.
Okay, we'll just go with that. He'll send like a little flame, because Cole at least knows what that feels like. Does a 17 barely miss or hit?
A 17 is his AC, actually. So, ordinarily, you see him trying to get out of the way. You think you're actually going to hit him.
So like, is my like best goal to try to get a 16?
Yeah, so if you do True Strike here, you can go down 1 guaranteed and 1 shy it.
Yeah, 1 shy is the goal.
Okay, then I'll go ahead and True Strike that and try to pull his punch a little bit, but then I might get a 4 when I don't want one.
Oh, like it's up to you are guaranteed by doing True Strike to be 1 shy.
Okay, then I'll go ahead and do that then. Sorry.
Yeah, anytime you roll a die that would add to the result, you can add up to the die's result or subtract up to the result.
Okay, then we'll heal.
Oh, another way of
What?
Another way of describing it is that anything that modifies your die roll after the initial roll is, I believe, effectively a margin of error granter, basically, to how easily you can hit
That's
1
perfect.
shy.
Man, but yeah, Bardic is gonna come in fucking clutch here.
Oh, absolutely. Okay, so yeah, I'll just make sure I miss exactly then. Goes for like a little flame right at Cole's sternum.
It's an interesting mental trick. You've probably only ever used this spell to twist fate, or however you do it, to make the spell hit them, but this time you find, no, I want to make it miss them. And it just barely glances off the tip of his tail. You can see the fur kind of get flattened by the bolt. He dodges out of the way.
But does he make it look like it hit? Is that the point? Like, I don't know. I'm generally asking.
Yeah.
The
yes.
showmanship.
I guess in this case, it didn't actually look like it hit, but it was very close. I think Cole will have to change his mind too. He's used to playing dodgeball.
That's fair. Alright, I won't do a bonus action. I'll just pass turn.
Okay. So, Kashmir will aim for Krim, literally with his finger. He will say, "Okay, you big bad dragon, I'm coming in, and I'm gonna kick you."
Wait, I didn't get big yet.
Krim, watch out! The devil is upon us.
And Kashmir quite literally flips across the stage, doing multiple spins and flips, eventually doing a spin where he swings his leg at Krim with the attempt to not hit him. 24. What is his AC?
19.
I can do a pull, right?
Yeah, so as part of making this attack, you can make an athletics check with the attack rolls ability, which I think is Dex.
Yes, and I have a +7, so that's basically just re-rolling the die. 19, so that's a 5 difference?
No, check the poll rules. If you rolled a...
It's a...
Plus
yeah, there's a
4.
table. You beat 18, so you can do a +4, up to +4 reduction.
Or minus, yeah. Which will bring you down to 19, which will exactly hit my AC instead.
Yes.
I think we're
Which
down to
will hit.
20.
Yeah, right.
Oh yeah, bring it down to 20. So someone needs to bring it down another further 2 somehow, or it will hit.
Krim, watch out! The devil is coming right for you. Wait, he gives a little fluty tooty tooty on like a little tin whistle.
D8, right?
Yeah. So I could just, but that it just works right now, right? Because
No, because in this case, it needs to be at least 2 in order for it to be 1 shy.
Yeah, still have to roll.
Because right now it's 20. My AC is 19. To be 1 shy, you need 18, so I'm gonna roll.
gotcha.
We're good. I rolled a 3. Krim spots it. He beats his wings once, and he manages to jump over the sweep. And he says, "Kind of bad taste right now, Wade," as he lands.
Oh, whatever works.
Kashmir lands on his feet, and he looks disappointed. "Ah! I missed you! You dragon!"
Starcatcher is gives a yes to Turner and Cole's move, and then gives another yes to these. You know if there's a crowd, there's definitely gonna be some cheering here.
Okay.
Turner's going to kind of just say to them, all right, but some of these actually need to hit, I think.
Do I use my other actions, or should I just go with
Your
the
call.
one?
It's your call.
It's depending on how much you think you can press before you accidentally get a hit in, though. With Krim specifically, he can probably take it without looking to beat up about. He's like the best person for stunt doubling, so to speak.
And for what it's worth,
And that-
polling doesn't take any additional action economy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's as part of.
So in that case, Kashmir will go, "Ugh! I'll get you this time!" And he will do a spin kick against Krim. Here's the attack roll. That is a 13. Just a straight up miss.
In this case, though, Krim takes it in that he braces his body, and because of his hard scales, it just plinks off. He parries the strike, which is another flavor of AC.
That's fair. However, Caban's action is a botch if the result of at least one attack roll is 3 higher or lower than the target's AC. So you can do it, but it doesn't look good.
You could use catch.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you can use catch to try to get it up closer.
That one, however, will be a reaction.
Mm-hmm.
Try it, Snap. Use your reaction.
Well, no, I think it's you. You're the one being
It's you,
targeted.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's
So
me.
you would have to do a dexterity athletics check.
Oh, I'm bad at those, but
Well,
I
it's
can
still
at least
athletics,
help.
so it's at least athletics, which
Yeah.
you're proficient in, so it's not terrible.
It is oh shit, that was actually a really good roll for athletics. But it's dex, so I need to.
Yeah.
Wow, even my dex is +5. All right, 23.
Hey, that's more than enough.
+6. Yeah.
That's
Is it?
that's
Oh, yeah.
exactly what you need.
All right, so Krim manages to deftly brace, blocking and then parrying the strike. He's like, oh, hit pretty hard, and then like bursts his wings out to knock Cash back in flavor.
Okay.
Kashmir dramatically rolls back, flopping back on the ground. Dua!
It looks really
He does-
cool.
He uses some magic to make his dwa echo.
But Starcatcher would explain how this is happening, like, it's all too fast, too fast. They can only focus on your main action of each maneuver. And that will translate to, it's really the action of your turn that will determine whether you meet the mark.
He does get extra attack, though.
So if you get like 3 1-shies on your turn, it's really the only one that's applied, only the main one that's relevant.
I see. So we got to make our one hit count. Understood.
And
Got it.
similarly, if you get a 1-shy on your main action and then 2 botches on your extra kicks or whatever, those are discarded too.
Oh,
Okay.
cool. That's good to know.
I'll end my turn there.
So extra attack doesn't apply then?
It's not relevant, is more what it is.
Yeah, you don't
Your
really
primary initial attack is what matters as far as performance is concerned. Audience will kind of blink at anything else.
Yeah.
Okay. Alex fishes around in his pocket, pulls out a wand, holds it up, and gives it a bit of a flourish.
Yes.
And I am going to point it, I think, to here. I'm going to use the Wand of Wonder.
Oh no. It involves a table of randomness, right?
94. Okay.
Disintegration beam.
Okay, so this is randomly going to affect either Krim or Wade.
Oh goodness.
So, Bugle, even or odd?
Let's go even.
All right. Make a Wisdom saving throw.
I'm not the best at those. Aha! Honestly, I kind of prefer that.
Ooh,
What'd you get?
5.
Well, I cannot reduce it enough to prevent this. Okay, let's see what happens.
I like the idea. That Alex...
You turn into a toad.
The bard has been betrayed.
What the hell
Wow.
even is this?
We're bringing up the big guns
Starcatcher
quick, so...
stops. What? This says Starcatcher.
Wait.
Chaos.
Concentrating.
Well, I said one need to hit.
I will pass turn.
Damn it, you took my turn.
Okay, so that is Bastion is to say
That is definitely a botch.
He's concentrating, so he can probably undo it by the time his turn comes in, at least.
Actually, that's true. I can undo it if I need to by dropping
don't.
concentration.
Don't.
No, don't.
No,
Well,
this is my life now.
Turtle kind of glance
To
at...
clarify, this is the polymorph spell specifically.
Turner will kind of glance at Cole and then to, towards, Alex. There's like corner
Okay.
spot there.
Oh, I get it. To break concentration that way.
Yeah.
Ha! See, you heard us now.
I haven't even had my turn yet.
He's gonna croak.
Cole nods, does a like warm up, side, almost like a stretching, and then he suddenly like kicks up, does a backflip while saying some words, lands dramatically. He plays a natural showman. And I need a dexterity saving throw from you three as the ground erupts upward.
Oh, jeez.
Boy. Well,
Oh no, the jock actually knows magic.
this is a dex save. Well, that's a 15. Though I do also have evasion.
That is a 13 from me.
Okay, so the DC is 15. What can he do? He can try and pull the spell somehow, right? Athletics. So athletics, acrobatics. His bonus is insane. Okay, so he gets a 17, so on the table.
3.
3.
I think that'll
Okay.
do it.
Is anyone not going to be one shy?
Well, what's his,
On a 13?
what's his DC?
So it's 15, and he can give you up to a 3.
I'm still 12. So that brings me 12 out of,
Okay.
so I'm still down.
If he puts it to 12, I will be at exactly one shy.
Okay, cool. Then perfect. To you, Turner, he says something, and it's like your attention is magically directed to his captivating words. You got your footing, right? And he gives bardic inspiration.
What type of roll is that?
Oh, that's clever.
Well, all you need is a 1, so regardless, I think.
Oh. What do you mean all
are able
units
to
are
bring-
1? His is a 15, right? And mine's I got a 9. So I'm 6
Which
shy.
became 12.
Then I'm 3 shy.
Oh, I misunderstood what you said earlier. Okay, it is a D. Oh, it's. Oh, sorry. Receive one of its dice. Well, what is? Oh, it's D8. Okay, D8.
Okay.
I will roll it here. Accessibility. I got a 6.
Perfect.
Nice.
Nice.
through his words, you are able to get more of your footing as the ground, grass, and soil erupts outward, and stone even underneath it, making this a chaotic battlefield. But you're all able to dodge it reasonably well, and you can tell he's shaping the magic to not actually hurt you.
We all jump up and sink in slow motion.
Wow.
Whoa!
He just turns, kind of like yells at Alex, "Are you still holding it?"
Well, he looks over. Wade is still a toad.
Wade is frantically shaking his head.
Then he's just kind of like looking at you, like with like a what the fuck look.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey,
Yeah, I'm not sure what.
If he didn't pick up
I'm
on
not
it, he
sure
didn't
what
pick
the
up on
best.
It's fine. This ground is now difficult terrain.
I mean, out of character, please keep it.
it. Okay. And like I said, sometimes the calls, don't get understood. We're still working out our chemistry as
Your
performers.
turn, Wade.
Wade gives this thunderous, riveting war cry as he just starts leaping. See, somehow has a 30-foot movement speed, so he goes lunging towards Alex just to try and claw his fucking head off with his tongue or whatnot.
With his tongue.
Claw with his tongue. Yeah, that makes
Yes.
sense.
So it's your spell attack modifier to hit.
Yeah, so it would actually be Alex's spell attack modifier to hit.
Yeah.
That's
Mhm.
funny.
So it'd be
awesome.
+7.
All right, I'm happy to have you roll to hit yourself.
Just no one, not even yourself.
It's nice because the damage doesn't matter for this. It's great.
Not even yourself, not trusting yourself.
Uh-oh.
Shit. What's your AC again?
Alex's AC is 18.
You have any defensive maneuvers or no?
No.
All right. Well, you're not technically my enemy, so.
No.
Yes.
I don't think you can use Bardic Inspiration. Your stat block is replaced with the toads.
You
Yeah,
still
but-
have the pull things, though, I think.
But reading Polymorph, it says I still have my abilities. I just can't use ones that require hands or speech. But Bardic Inspiration, as long as you can see me.
The target's game statistics, including ability scores, are replaced by those of the beast. Retains its alignment and personality.
Yeah. I would not want to set the precedent that you maintain that, because then anytime you polymorph enemies, they're going to use all their intrinsic things. I think that's yeah.
All right. Well, let's see. Then I'll use my inspiration then. Try and get a low roll on this.
I think you can. Can't you also still try the push
Hey.
thing?
All right. All right. Although it doesn't, right? Because 11's worse.
That's true.
Well,
Yeah,
11's closer.
fair enough. I don't. What's my athletics bonus? Really bad as a frog. So.
Well, at that point, it's I think up to Alex if he wants to try to catch. If he's good at that.
Doing an 11. It doesn't matter how well. I'm gonna need to roll ludicrously well.
What about?
But I guess- I guess I can at
Might do
least
better.
try to roll well enough for it to not be a botch.
I can take either the 11 or the 22, right?
Yeah.
So, could you catch it so the 22 would work out?
No, catching lowers your
No,
AC.
you would have to pull for the
Oh,
22.
Gotcha. All right.
So are we going with the 11?
Yeah.
Okay. So this will be Dex Athletics. Not a great roll. I rolled a 12.
So by 1.
That's one.
So it's unfortunately still a botch because it's by 3, right?
So I effectively make my AC 17.
Did Wade already try to pull?
Oh, it was 18. Okay.
No,
I
he
mean,
tried
no.
to pull. He did not. He
Okay.
didn't with the 22.
Yeah, because again, I don't have the athletics or the acrobatics to suffer out.
Oh, it was worth a try. So we got a bot. We just got a botch.
And then at the end of your turn, you can repeat the save.
I'll choose not to.
What?
Wade loves
Okay.
in life. This struggle between uplifted axolotl and feral toad does not look dramatic. Crimster.
Maybe we're going for a comedy.
Krim, it's your turn.
Alright, now that it's Krim's turn, Krim sees the terribleness that had happened to his great ally, his friendly ally, and he roars, and, yeah, he kind of does have to show this off during practice just to try to properly replicate it, so, yeah, he grows to his grand, large self, and then shoves Cash, or tries to shove Cash to get out of the way. This isn't necessarily his main action. This is just like actually get there. As part of it's technically a saving throw against his Behemoth feature, not Behemoth, Behemoth feature. So, I mean, I guess we could do a saving throw for it, but his actual thing is going to be trying to attack Alex. What counts as the main action in this case?
It's your choice.
Okay, this is not the main action, so he's just attempting to push Cash. He can choose to fail it to be dramatically pushed back or attempt to fight it.
He will accept the push, and in doing so, will stumble back. Ugh.
Whoa!
Whoa! Oops, I moved under Turner. I didn't mean to do that.
He just like very dramatic, just like bobbling on one.
Yeah.
Cole's like, holy Ogma, dude! Whoa!
There you go.
Alright. And then he goes for a devastating bite attack against Alex for harming his friend. Oh shit. You said that your AC was 18,
18.
right? 17 on the... Not on the die, but 17 result. Exactly.
Damn.
Okay. Does this look like it hit?
It's one shy, so it's ideal, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna, like, recoil. Ah! I'm gonna drop concentration.
No.
I like to think that Krim went for like a bite, but it's more like a little nibble.
No. Yeah, you see, way to untransform is just for a bit, like he was.
It's that scene from every monster movie ever where, like, slow motion, the people barely escape the jaws as they close.
Sorry, I had to roll just for the sake of getting my initiative back. We're good. Alright. And, and then Krim just snarls triumphantly and intimidatingly past turn.
Okay, the top of initiative. Starcatcher like doing one of those claps. It's like, yeah, you guys are naturals. You're naturals. Now show me what you can really do. Show me what I can bring to the writers. Give me your best.
Oh,
So
I
be
have
it.
to look. I have a few things I can do. If someone can just reduce someone's HP to 0, I'll show a real show.
Alright, Turner's going to kind of like fly up. He's going to fly up 3 feet and then just kind of like have like his hand held high in the air, and then he's just going to kind of yell to his team, get them in position, and then he is going to hold an action.
Oh. Starcatcher's like, oh, I like the sound of that.
Still trigger.
Get them into position.
I'm gonna actually, unironically go from the top initiative to the bottom initiative. So after Krim acts, Turner's going to do his thing.
Kashmau?
Ajma is going to with an act tell. Okay, so if I do an action to do a tell, and then I use a bonus action to attack, does that bonus action count as the big thing he's doing that turn?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Kashmir is going to leap into the air and jump 15 feet. And as he does this, he is going to hose in the air.
Okay.
He's going to do like a flip in the air and like point down at Kole, like, "You better watch out!" And this is his tell.
Okay. Grins in
DC
anticipation.
And we have +1 for performance, so we'll see how this goes. Maybe he falls on his ass somehow.
Mm-hmm.
15!
Hey,
Oh,
okay.
there you go.
Nice.
Communicate what you're
Got
gonna do successfully.
And it'll land next to Kole and wind up for a punch. Straight in the face.
Natural 1.
Nat 1.
Oh no.
Well, you know, we're at the end of the session. I'm gonna resolve that, actually.
Okay.
Probably a good idea. Okay, better.
Closer.
15.
That is too shy.
It's already not a botch, at least.
Cole will use his reaction, fitting because you give him warning, when he's targeted by an attack to make an acrobatics check. Okay, that is a 20. Nope. Well, it's high enough, but it's
It is
20
enough.
29. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
So that is definitely enough for him to quickly. You maybe misjudged how close you were going to land, and he is able to backpedal just right the distance where you're in striking range.
Nice. Okay. That is my turn.
You punch him in the face, you said?
Yes, I go for a punch in the face, and I miss, quote unquote.
Even
Good.
so, there's like spittle out of his snout. He falls back, tail like extending maximum to make it look like he got knocked way back and hits the grass. Ugh. I'll get you, buddy. See you in the finals.
All right. Alex, turn.
Okay. You want flashy? I can give you flashy.
Oh no.
I see 3 guys all lined up.
Oh no.
Oh
Uh-oh.
god.
Uh-oh.
Here we go.
Right along here. I'm gonna cast a lightning bolt.
Oh no, my one weakness, being an easy target.
Lightning bolt. Okay, dex save. Huh?
Well, I'm bad at those, but I have a resolve that I can still use. I don't actually need one. Wow, that was getting lucky with these on this lowest stakes.
Nine.
Why am I +0 on? Oh yeah, we're doing the half save thing.
I've had bad luck this session. Fuck.
Well, rolling too well.
I'm sorry.
Well, nat 20 is a good thing, actually.
Let's see.
Nat 20 means it's an automatic one shy.
Mhm.
As a reaction, I will what was it? It's Dex. Okay. It is a Dex
yeah.
catch.
Athletics dex, yep.
Okay. 21.
Maybe a
Dang.
5 reduction maximum.
So if a 14
DC is 15.
I am one shy, baby.
Hey.
Okay. Unfortunately, I think we're gonna have to go with just straight up hitting Wade.
Oh,
It happens.
Poor Wade.
God, Alex is just fucking up Wade this match.
Hey, I got 2 one-shies with this.
That's true. That's pretty good.
Ribbit.
Wade is the gag character that gets hit anyway.
Oh no!
Well, not like the mere jobber.
And you don't have to track HP in this instance, but for botches, you are actually taking the damage, which may be relevant.
Alright.
Okay.
How much am I taking?
Well, let's see, Doc.
It's just a smoldering pile of
It's like-
ash.
Is he supposed to be dead?
Oh, Christ.
Oh my
Holy
god!
crap! Of course, that's where I get the good roll.
He's fine. He's fine.
I'm on like 20 HP. Or like, actually, like, no.
You see, this is why we all know that D&D PvP is not balanced.
Yeah, you see, like Wade about to give this like really eloquent quickly, just like fuck, ow.
So when you
Like
have
a-
two just shies and 1 botch, what does that average out to?
So I don't want to reveal exactly the scoring system, but you get points for 1 shies, basically.
Okay.
And for botches, yeah, it depends on how many 1 shies there were. But, okay.
So
It's a net positive. Yay!
in a situation like this, is it a net positive or a net negative?
Let's see. Let me read through this a bit. There's 1 shy. I'm tracking it, but I don't have the final marks yet of the match. Scores a critical hit. No. Okay.
Now comes Alex with the 40 lightning.
Here comes the salamander with the steel chair.
This is the perfect time for that
So-
to actually apply.
It was a botch, but other people were 1 shy this round on your team, I guess. So you won't lose a star. This is all back-end stuff, so no need to worry. I'll roleplay the crowd's reaction accordingly.
I see. Okay.
Cool. Okay, Cole's turn. Cole will go over here, eyeing Tartarus trajectory, checking if that seems appropriate.
It works. So it doesn't make
Okay.
it more difficult for him to do what he's wanting to do. So
Okay, and then he will go to Wade, yeah. Looking a bit sad about being a dead horse. But he casts... how does this work? 1 moment. This spell I don't think I've ever seen. You removed it from the game, Doc. What the heck?
What spell was it?
Pyrotechnics. Well, from a past world where it exists. Make a Constitution saving throw. He'll limit it to Wade.
He's
Wait.
attacking his ally?
Oh, he's cool attacking me.
it's just-
Cole, Wade, and Krim.
Oh, right.
You
Sorry.
see, everyone's my enemy in this fight.
That's how bad Wade's luck became in this.
All right. Cash instead, and then he'll move to the top right. Con save, please.
On save. I have hard to read it on my there. But it's just a +1 on mine. 14.
Okay. Wow, that's 1 shy. So he takes from a pocket, you could see him quickly rifling through some basic spell components, lights a match on the stripe of his shorts, and then casts a spell, waving the match, and it creates this dazzling explosion of colors that threatens to blind you. But he kind of gave you a heads up, and he's like, hey, squint real quick. And you are able to not be blinded by it.
Yeah, Kashmir blocks his eyes at the last second, like, oh! Oh!
I'll blind you, you dirty rabbit! It's like, is that too far? Starcatcher's like, no, it's great. And then he backs off.
SHL loves a bit of racism.
Alright, Wade, it's time for payback.
Just the thing. Yeah. Wade, he's about to reach for his magic stones, but then he just like pauses and just gives Alex this like really petty look. I think I'm encroaching with the wrong tree. Are you? I'll show you. You're not quite the cat's meow.
Oh my god.
He points at him. He casts polymorph. Give me a DC.
Oh no!
How long were you sitting on that one?
You made DC 16. You can say.
If it's part of the performance, you can't, like...
I'm a lot better at wisdom saves than Wade.
It's
Yeah,
good.
How do ones like these work
That's
in
a-
terms of the mechanics?
That's a 26.
Oh, that's
Jesus
too
fucking Christ.
strong.
All right. Well, you're not technically my enemy. So bardic inspiration, subtract D8.
Bugle, I
That's
don't think
fair.
it's gonna get anywhere near enough, but okay.
No, because if you combine that with the catch, it might work.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Let's see what we get here. That's a 3. So I could reduce that to 23. I will try for a catch. That's a 4.
So it becomes a 19?
No, so it stays at 23.
Oh, right. Sorry,
4
misunderstood.
is the actual roll made.
Yeah, I thought that was the result. Got it.
Yeah.
I tried,
Polymorph
guys.
is now the bad luck spell.
Yeah, like I wonder, like if like there's like a case where you can just kind of just choose to fail. I don't know. Oh well.
Not even choose to
Well,
fail.
yes, there is a rule that you can just choose to fail any saving throw, but I
But I
don't
think that
think
would
it's
count as a
applicable here.
punish.
I mean, in terms of of this, like,
Because that's effectively
Just for-
saying I got a nat 1.
Just for pettiness, could you fail it, please?
I guess it's your call.
Second.
Just for pettiness.
Is
Well,
equal to the DC. Okay.
Wait, but...
Uh,
Oh. Yeah, okay.
um,
Though
sure,
it's-
we'll fail it for the sake of pettiness.
It's more like an apology in Alex's case.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Thank you.
You know what? Fair is fair.
Besides, Alex failing polymorph is like, I'm used to this.
Now a cat.
No, this is very different. When I use wild shape, I keep my own intellect. I do not keep
yeah.
it when I polymorph.
Now he's just really pissed off and a little confused about why whatever actual salamander.
So what did you turn him into?
A cat.
Aw.
The cat's meow. What do you what does Wade call him now? I'll name you Creamsicle.
I'll find something fitting. I know this is probably terrible for actually winning, but I mean, I'm happy.
Don't worry, I'll find a way to make up for it.
That guy doesn't seem too impressed. But how are you gonna... Alright.
Alright, pass turn.
Alright, we're almost at time, so I think I'm going to be finishing this off. I have a quick clarifying question before I do this. 2, actually. Assuming they're willing and I don't have to worry about the logistics of the rolls, can Krim grapple one person, put them on, and then with his extra attack, grapple a second person? If he releases the first.
Double check if it's free hand or something else.
A
It is
free hand
but
is
he's releasing
required.
the first one freely, I believe.
Oh, you're releasing them.
Releasing the first one to grapple a second one after letting them go.
Then sure, as long as you have the action economy to do more unarmed strikes to grapple, then yeah.
I have 2 attacks without any bonuses and stuff. Okay, if that's the case, Krim looks at both of his feline allies and says, "Well, you guys are good at landing on your feet, right?" And I have a second question. If someone is riding Krim, do they count as not grounded?
Grounded is not a term, I don't think. What do you mean?
On the ground.
Yeah, if they're mounted... Well, it probably depends on what the effect or whatever is, but I would say usually not.
Understood. I think logistically they will be okay in this case. As Krim will grab Wade, grapple him, place him on his back, and then grab Kole, and then fly up while grappling Kole and Wade on his back. And then he will... Is Tell a bonus action or just a thing you can do? Action.
It's an action.
Damn, I can't do it. Alright, you're not going to have advantage for this one, but as he rises up and then slams on the ground with... I've literally never used this feature yet because I haven't found the opportunity. But here we are as he uses Quake Stomp.
Ooh.
Cash and Alex both need to make dexterity saving throws.
Oh boy.
No, strength saving throws.
That's different.
Can I pull on this?
Alright, Alex. Do you want me to drop concentration, Alex?
Wow.
I will pretty
want
much
you to.
auto fail.
I kind of don't
as a
want you to.
No, you technically can't. It's not an attack or a spell.
Okay, understood.
Wait.
I got a 21.
Okay.
Somehow.
Well, it says for
And yeah,
pull, you can also reduce the save DC for a spell you cast by making an athletics check with your spellcasting ability.
It's not a
Wow,
spell.
so class features
Oh,
just
right,
don't
right.
count for this.
Huh.
Damn,
Yeah, let's look into that.
that's kind of weird. That's like
Uh,
even more innate to him to pull back on how hard he quakes.
Yeah.
that is a -2 on the strength save.
Wow, wouldn't expect something that bad.
Well, he's a
The
cat.
cat has a -4 modifier.
Oh, poor kitty.
We need one for Cash. What'd you get?
21.
Okay. You might want to catch that one, or try to, or something, because the DC is only 14.
It'd be a dexterity athletics check.
Okay, okay. I will...
Your
Yeah.
strength save, yeah.
I got 11.
I think that's only a 1.
No, it's not even a 1.
So that's...
Not even. Yeah.
Not even, yeah. I think you just...
Damn, yeah, so you both just fall over then, prone.
Actually, didn't Kashmir massively succeed?
Yeah, that means he evades it. pretty
Oh no,
much.
yeah, you evade it, and the cat falls over.
Oh, so it's not a botch, it's
That's
just
a
a...
double botch.
Okay.
Which I mean,
Wow.
I feel like sometimes missing
Oh, no, it's still a botch.
attacks should still be fine, because, like, I mean, you wouldn't hit every single attack.
Yeah, but in this case, both were botches. The weird thing, I just think it's weird that spells you can hold back on, but class features you can't.
Yeah, I think it's something that maybe we should look into between sessions, but yeah, I kind of agree.
Okay.
But yeah,
All
for
right.
now, that is just a botch.
They both
Whoops.
fall from the force of that quake.
No, Crim doesn't fall. I'm not Crim. Cash doesn't fall. Cash just,
Okay.
Oh, so
weathers it. It's a botch in both directions.
And unfortunately, we're out of time, so I think next
Hey.
session we'll have to start with Turner's
Oh,
thing and kind of go from the fallout from there.
it
Okay.
could be a really quick one because it's going to activate right now.
Is everyone willing to go
Just
a
a
little bit
bit.
farther? And there's not going to be any fallout from this thing. It's just going to be okay, boom, just so you know.
Yeah, sure.
All right, then. I guess if you think
sure.
it'd be better to wait then, but I guess I'd
Oh,
hold
okay.
on to it. It'd be nice.
I do kind of need to...
I would like to close out the round. I think is a good way to do it, and then start at the top of the round.
We did... That's where we are, basically.
Yeah, I think this is the end of our showcase.
If there's one person who says they got to go, unfortunately, my policy is we're not going
That's
to
fair.
Okay.
extend the session. Sorry.
We made it.
We shall find out with a bombastic opening next time.
Right.
Thanks, team.
You're not truly bros until you polymorph each other.
Well, is that what it is now? Is that our standard? If you polymorph Krim into a mundane Bosian dragon, does nothing change but he gets dumber?
But what if
No,
you just like polymorph each other at the same time and they just hang out, kitties? Frogs.
So,
They're not so cool.
I believe that's next week. We are going to have to do a session on. We're looking at Monday at the same time, right?
Yes, Monday, same time, but slightly shorter than usual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 hours, I think.
A lot of us have just a bunch of different summer plans, and so yeah, the next couple of weeks will be a little bit of tumultuous, but we'll get at least a couple more sessions in July, I'm sure.
Figure it out.
Updates.
See you next time, SHL. Blah, 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 blah.
SHL.
Bye-bye!
SHL.
All of you.